Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Wisdom Over Hustle. I am your host, Rohaan Kaul, and today we are again with a guest on our show, someone interesting, someone different, and we are going to talk about wisdom over hustle. So today I'm introducing someone who's a dear friend and who's doing something really different and innovative in the sense she's working in a male dominated industry and she's making waves over there. She's kind of breaking the glass ceiling over there. I have my friend Monica Shahi here, who's the co-founder of StoreFerry, which is a marketplace for facility management. Uh, and this is a very interesting story, is for the reason that this is among the few companies that I found were operating on a B2B2C model, and today we are going to discuss more about this very interesting model of how they operate and how they've been able to generate revenue using this innovative model, reach out to their end customers using this model. And more importantly, we are also going to discuss on something traditional like a facility management industry, how AI and the B2B to C model with AI is going to work in this industry. Welcome, Monica. Thank you for your time. I know you're very, very busy chasing investors, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rohan. Thank you for such a generous introduction, to be honest. And I think the boasting has helped me, increase my confidence. So I'm pretty much sure this session is going to be amazing. All right. So, okay. So before we begin with, okay, I know you have a background in industrial engineering. From you studied from Ramaya, right? Exactly. Okay. Uh, like like we come across so many founders. You and I, when we go out and meet at the events, we meet so many techies who are turned entrepreneurs, stories like us, right? But I mean, this is really interesting from a point of view like industrial engineering. Like typically, you know, I mean, when we were studying, we would not find women. I mean, I don't want to sound misogynist over here, but it's an observation. Like things like EC or all of this, I mean, even if I've seen somebody take up industrial engineering, they've not walked the conventional path. Like, they've probably chosen a career in IT or tech or something of that sort, right? Whereas, as far as I know your experience, you worked in this industry, like the industrial engineering industry itself, and that is the reason why you've come to a place where you're working, you have StoreFerry now. So tell us this whole journey, like, how it has been, how it has come to this point where you had this voila moment that, you want to do something around this and the StoreFerry was born. So I guess it's a long story. I'm just collecting my thoughts on this right now. So yeah, let me start with the fact that I've always been unconventional, I feel. And although my father was like, go for mechanical because he was working in with Indian Oil and he had seen mechanical engineers on very top positions. And he's like, for money, like that's what they call me at home. And they're like, no, please go for mechanical. And I cleared my comic day and came back paying for back. And we didn't had mechanical during that time. All the seats were filled. I was one of top 2,000 ranks during that time. And then the nearest to mechanical was industrial engineering. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's do that. But to be very honest, till now, even I see people who actually go into this particular segment of engineering, they feel first they join it because first year is same for everyone, and then in first year they actually come to know what is industrial engineering. Now, if you actually see in the industry, what we industrial engineering people do is we create procedures, online assemblies, on management, about companies. How what would be the optimal procedure in order to reach the targets, right? So that's how it all started, and then post which I got placed with Marriott, which is a five-star chain, and I was first of the. Okay, I'm allowed to boast. I feel over here, so I'm just gonna say this. Go ahead. Go ahead. Absolutely, I'm like I should be boasting. So I was first female engineer
hired in Marriott, and the dream place Goa. That's where I was based.
Wow,
So
nice.
amazing 2 years of my life. Got to learn a lot. I have worked with chief engineer who was 65 and had opened approximately 15 hotels during his lifetime. And I worked with some senior leaders of Marriott, who was director of Marriott. And what we did was, during that time, Starwood and Marriott merger was happening, and Marriott went, okay, fine, we are going to do paperless. And they started implement all the softwares during that time. And if you know, actually, currently, Marriott is a completely paperless operational tech company in the hotel industry. So I was a part of that project where we were implementing transcendent marriage process. Then post which I came into consulting. I was working with this company called Ant Consulting. So while I was there in these areas, while I was transferring from an operational background to a consulting background, that's where I realized that how two of them they should be actually talking to each other, but that's not happening in the market right now. So while we were there in Marriott, we found out that there is a lot of problem with the procurement. And see, what happens is once the project is done, the material is over, inventory is over. Now, every time there is a problem, you have to deal on it. Maintenance is a recurring job. And one of the quotes that I would like to tell, which was told by Mr. Hardman, my chief engineer, long back, maintenance is the thankless job because you have to constantly do it and it's constantly there and nobody is going to come and tell, hey, you did a great job. They'll be like, okay, this is done, but this is still pending. Things are always pending there, right? So then I met Mr. Murray, my colleague, right? And we were working on a small project for ISDRL during that time, which was a visitor management project. And that's when we actually realized that how much problem is there in order to procure these kind of that's where we actually thought of StoreFerry. So initially, our idea was completely different. Rohan, trust me on the fact. For starting 3 months, actually, what we were doing is, sir, you need quotations. You know, we will give you three quotations. You don't have to go through other vendors. Then we realized that the adaptability of this idea was not there in the market. Why? Because there's a trust issue there. Because if single person is giving you three quotations, they don't know how much margin that they have in each, right? So then we pivoted and we came that what we want to do is we want to create a complete ecosystem into facility
Hmm.
management. When I actually
Okay.
talk about creating a complete ecosystem in facility management, it is majorly that people like JLL, CBRE, who are pioneering companies in this industry, they are really providing the manpower. But post that, there's a lot of operations in any kind of a building, right?
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
starts from monthly procurement, yearly, you have to change a lot of things. You do things like transfer of oil filtration, etc., etc. So how the procedure works is it's a tedious procedure. Every time, go ahead,
Hmm.
get three quotes, get three vendors, negotiate. You know, and
Hmm.
the thing is, people, the items we are actually doing the long tail market currently. So the items that these people are procuring, they don't even have complete idea about what they want to purchase, right?
Okay.
So a lot of conversation happens like over WhatsApp. People trying to figure out which model I want. So we wanted to bring some system into this industry. That's how it's working. So we are a tech-enabled one-stop solution for B2B industry. As I would say in an analogy, Alibaba for maintenance industry. That's what we are trying to create. Your words, not mine. Okay. So thanks for those putting those words in my mouth, I guess. So
I
yeah, that's how it
I
goes.
haven't
And
been paid for it though.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
So
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
here we are. 40 clients in
Right.
Bangalore, and I think we're doing pretty well.
Amazing. Amazing. I hope your funding also comes in soon. At least then I'll get paid.
Absolutely. Hey, come
Okay.
on.
So so at least now while you and I were talking about a lot of things. I mean, of course, we talk a lot of things, but specifically about around this. And I was amazed. I was actually pretty amazed at the fact that you haven't spent a lot on the customer acquisition. Like, when we're talking about the metrics of your business, at that point of time, we came to a conclusion that the cost of acquisition is actually really low and it's very organic in nature. And it boils down to the fact that we did the reverse engineering of it and analyzed your model, which was basically B2B2C. Now, is this B2B2C model by choice, or this is by default how your industry operates? Or was it like because you wanted to spend less on the acquisition given the fact at this point of time you're a startup while you have received funds on and everything, but yes, you have to spend with a little bit of jurisprudence and so was it like, again, coming back to the question, whether it was by choice or whether it was basically by default how this industry or how this would operate in the near future also?
Rohan, lot of parameters are there. Okay. So we did made a choice of targeting this industry because first of all we felt that this is the industry which is actually suffering. Okay,
Hmm.
and it's a larger market to take, and it's the most cluttered market. Okay, so say for example, if I go B2B2B, there are corporates. Okay,
Hmm.
they have already set procedures. To actually go and try to break that would be harder, right? The conversion rate would be higher. Currently we have a 68% conversion. It's
Okay.
why is it because it is because of the trust that we give. So now, when we started this completely via reference. We thought of the idea in the market, first collected the requirement, first understood the psyche of the customer, that how he actually wants his purchase to happen. Okay, I think a lot of companies, what they do is they run to the market with their product, and they try to push their product in the market. I personally feel after working in the industry is first you try to understand that how your customer wants to, do the entire procedure, and you make your product around it, not the other
Hmm.
way. So that's what we
Right.
did. We usually reach out to the customers and we told them. Actually, we had a good relationship with the customer. Here. So we reached out to our friends and we are like, hey, we are doing something like this. Let us know if you could. And then as it was starting 3 to 4 months, that
Hmm.
we were actually following up a different idea altogether. After 3 to 4 months, then when we realized, okay, this is not working, let's do it this. So that's when we came to know what our customer wants is best price, best quality, best after sales service. That's the biggest problem. Because a lot of things in this maintenance industry comes with warranty. But then once I purchase, once it's not working, where do I go?
Hmm.
Where do I actually claim the warranty? Okay,
Hmm.
and if you actually know, India is a very cost sensitive country, right? So people are always like generally people who are facility managers and all, they work in a smaller site. Their pay is somewhere around 40, 50 and 40, 50K a month. And I don't think so that's a good market to do that. Or like they do is something which is on a lower pay grade. Okay? And these people, what they have is majorly they work on these sites and they don't have those expertise. Tomorrow they want to do any project, they look around to people, so we want to do something like this, how do we go about it? They are not MEP engineers. Just because in order to save the cost, this is where the cost is cut. Right? So you put some
Hmm.
management related person. So they also look for a lot of consultants. Now we thought that why not bring all of it to one umbrella? We did that.
Okay.
We went to our customer and told, hey, we are doing something like this. And once your idea is good, your product is good, your service is good, it is unlikely the customer is not buying. So initial 1 year, my retention rate was around 89%, and
Hmm.
an yearly retention rate. So I think we
Hmm.
did good on that front. And it was a choice that we made that we want to operate in this industry, and this is how we want to grow. We want the company to be sustainable. We don't want
Hmm.
it to be, hey, let's just get the lowest quote. Let's just burn a lot of money in it. We have done it sustainably,
Okay.
profitably, and
Yeah.
that's how we plan to do it.
Okay. So now, interestingly, I think so. I've asked you this question earlier also. In B2B e-commerce, I mean, this is typically if you put it under an umbrella, like it's basically B2B e-commerce. You have players like Udan and Moglix who are kind of already established in this segment, and then you have the more portals like your India Marts of the world and like that. So again, by focusing on a particular segment, on a very specific this thing, I mean, how easy or difficult it has been to make that early inroads, and two, now that you are on a very specific industry niche that you're talking about, right? Uh, I mean, I think so. From the investor's point of view, also you must be getting this question on the scalability part of it, right?
Absolutely.
That how are you going to solve the scalability challenge in the coming times? Because I mean, anybody who's putting in the money, they're looking at bigger markets. How big it can scale up to. So, how are you tackling this? Like, one is, of course, how easy or difficult it has been, and two is the scalability challenge.
So I think it has been quite easy for us to actually get into this market. To be honest, why? Because we because of our network. To be very honest, I think when you are starting up anything, your network matters a lot. You work best your work and how many people will know, how many people trust you, right? So because we have worked in the industry, we already had that trust. So I think that's where our initial challenges were not too much. But of course, when it comes to scaling, then that's where a lot of companies they get stuck. So what we figured out that referral worked best for us. We always, if I'm talking to any client, I'll be like, "Hi, sir, yeah, we did some this, blah blah blah," and then I'll be like, "I'll be happy to if you actually introduce me to someone," and they do actually, right? If they like your services, they will go ahead and actually give you their colleagues or friends or whatever, right? So that's there. And the second part of it, where you actually told about the expansion. So I mean, I'm a numbers person. I don't know how to tell a story, but I'm a proper numbers person. So let me get to the numbers of it. How big is the industry and which kind of industry actually we are targeting? As I told you, we are targeting the long tail market. We are not targeting architects, interior designers, builders. Why? Because it's a one time thing. You take up a project, and it's a 1 year project. That's it. End of it, right? Now with the maintenance market, it's a regulated. So that's the reason when I say one main market, it majorly means where the purchase amount might not be high, but then the repetition of the purchase is happening every month, every there is some of the other you have. Okay. So I mean, yeah, that's the thing. So for the housing societies, if I only just for the residential registered RERA housing societies, there are 19,000. And here the average purchase goes up to starting from 3 CR to 8 to 9 CR for a higher society. Okay. So now you can actually guess the market, how big it is. So instead of going to the papers and trying to search how big is the market, with a reverse calculation, you understand because how many societies are there and they multiplied it with the average or the value that they did. And it has come to us that $3.8 billion market, which is in India, and growing at a rate of 14% year on year. India is developing in infrastructure, even tier 2, tier 3 cities. Is having. I vaguely remember you actually mentioning Moglix and industry buying and India Mart kind of stuff. So, Rohan, our entire idea is lower time, best cost, best quality, and everything at once in the stock. That's the entire idea. And Moglix, however, it majorly operates in the B2C market and it's a proper platform, but that's not how StoreFerry what we majorly do is there is a procedure that needs to be followed in this particular industry as well. We let the client follow that procedure. You're not telling them that you have to just add it to the cart and just buy the thing. You add it to the cart, you download the application. get approvals, you do. Need consultancy, you let us know, we'll help you out. So it's more like a personalized service kind of based kind of thing that we actually give to our clients. That's how we position ourselves. And when we talk about companies like India Mart and Just Dial, again, the same problem that we're trying to solve. Call the people, get the quotation, surveys, give the quotation, kind of a thing. That's what we are aiming at. Everything at your fingertips within a short. That's
Okay, interesting. now, now that I'm trying to understand this model a little deeper, right? So, in terms of leveraging AI, right? I know you guys are also playing around on the AI side of it. Now, in this entire model, you've got one is the businesses that are in between, and then you have the end customer also. So, like, B2B2C model, right? So, in terms of taking precedence or in terms of leveraging AI on different touch points, right? Which touch point are you using in terms of probably giving precedence of leveraging AI, or is it balanced out on both ends? And how are you using AI on each of these touch points, whether it is the business touch point or it is the end consumer touch point? How is it working out?
so we had a huge product roadmap, to be honest, and we started with it. And I also believe, Rohan, that tech adaptability ratio in every kind of segment differs. Right? So, as you told that we are two women, we have vendors on one side and the end users on the other side. We had initially, we started with the operation first, we got the operation that how the orders are getting processed so that there is not a lot of human friends. And then when we actually see everybody wants to get on the bandwagon with the AI, of course, and that's how you sell your we are the AI model of this and that and blah blah. So a while ago, if you remember, I was talking about the consultancy market stuff,
Hmm.
and there are so many laterals. How I want to reduce my cost, how can I remove this with a lower cost, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So many angles. And the third thing is also about that this industry has a very low tech adaptability issue,
Right,
right?
right.
Because there have been so many facility management tools which are coming to market. One of a few of my friends, they run this company called Team Circle out of they found amazing facility management application. But Indian customers, they don't want to actually spend on SaaS tool. That's the reason MyGate is free. It's free, right?
Yeah,
That's how you get the customers. Basically, you have to find different points of contact, right? How you want to generate. So what we
right.
had thought, we had spoken to our customers, and after working for 2 years in this industry, we had figured
Hmm.
out. Initially, our idea was we list the entire catalog, then we will add
Hmm.
the things automatically, and then probably just generate an estimate. Now, what we are currently building is what we have observed. Even though people know what they want to buy, but they can't find, it's very hard
Hmm.
because these are the people they
Right.
don't even know how to, probably write the spellings right, or probably
Hmm.
how to actually search the things. These are
Right.
the blue collar workers who are actually trying to figure out. So
Right.
here, what we thought was instead now also how people send us the requirement via Excel sheet, they
Hmm.
click the picture of the things and they're like this click the picture this thing. So what we
Right.
are currently going to do is that instead of sending the requirement and trying to add this to the cart, what we're going to do is we give them that access where they can just scan the thing and be like, okay, fine, this is the product I want, and it's fine. Just
Right.
right away. We are also working on a model where our AI model would be able to take care of the basic consultancy services which are required in this. If a person is building a project or wants a renewal of rates or services, that's where we are trying to leverage. And of course, our backend, we want our back operations to be done.
Okay.
And very recently, I have met uh, Harshal from Arali Ventures. And that's where we also got into the talking, and we got to the same point, and I told him, um, even his opinion was that in this kind of business where the tech adaptability ratio is low, you have to train
Mhm.
your customers to actually use, right? You have to slowly embed that in their day-to-day lives. So what you
Right,
initially do is you make your back that strong. Your operations have to your operation has to be
right.
trained by AI. And then later on the customer side, slowly you make the customer adapt to it. So that's
Okay,
how we are there on the bandwagon, but yeah, still rolling, still getting.
right. So now that you talk about tech adaptability, right? So uh, now again, that brings me to a point where, okay, let's say uh, the relationship between the B2C part of it, like in this entire, where your facility management companies are in the bit in between and they are servicing the end customer, right? Now, even, we're talking about the tech, probably the tech adaptability at that end is relatively higher as compared to the end side of it, right? So how are you envisioning AI and technology to work between that layer, right? And is there anything unconventional that you're doing in terms of, driving that adaptability or, something that with tech or AI that you're playing with that is going to help on that end?
So Rohan, in order to drive the entire thing, not only with respect to the tech, we are building something completely unique of these people. Because we feel that although a large population in India works in this segment, but this segment doesn't have a IT and non-IT jobs, consultants, everything will come into your big force, your IT, yeah, applications are
Right.
very required, etc. But then facility management still feels very big, needs feels very. So we are trying to drive our entire project to
Hmm.
integrate currently staff teams who are part of DAS, which is Bangalore Association of Facility Managers. So I think that will actually help us. How? Because you train people and they train them, their employees. So now the
Hmm.
biggest problem in this market is I should not be saying this. I don't know how to give it sweet talk on this, but the money under the table. To be honest, that's the biggest problem.
Ah, right. Conventional kickbacks.
Exactly. So people don't want to be accused. Okay, nobody likes getting accused. Okay, I think that's where we play a very strong role. That's how
Right.
we build that trust in the market. Sir, we have got the quotation from StoreFerry. Yes, sir, it is there, or everything is there online. You can check it.
I remember the analogy that I gave you that if the only reasons that somebody wants to go and attend the society meetings is the only reason they want to accuse somebody कि तूने पैसा
Exactly.
खाया.
Exactly. So I mean that's the reality of the market. Market.
That's true.
I'm not
That's
fan
totally
of the.
true. True.
So
True.
that's the reality of the market, right? That's how it works. So people like predictive news. So I think that creating that cost transparency, in the market is going to help us with the adaptation ratio. And with the facility management company, I'll tell you why the adaptation ratio is high. See, there's a lot of attrition in this industry. You get a client, he's there with you for 3 4 years, and then
Hmm.
after that he's getting it iterates, a lot of. So why this does this happens is there are many more reasons how their nature is done, blah blah blah. The
Hmm.
main reason being money takes time. So I think with facility management company, this also gives them that kind of a leverage where they can go to their clients and they can be like, hey, our complete purchase happens to this company, it's a platform. We want to check your rates with other vendors. We can do that. So with this, they are also able to create that trust among their customers, and the attrition rate goes down.
Right. It would be great if your platform could have a Gen AI that every time this accusation is thrown at, something like the response that could be generated and sent to them.
Oh, God.
That with integration of a WhatsApp would be great fun. Like, in the society community. I think I've told you time and again, I get my best entertainment from my society WhatsApp group. I mean, the way things,
Amazing, right? How people are
the things,
connecting.
yeah, the way things fly there thick and fast, it's amazing. And I think so. If Gen AI could solve that, that would be great.
I'm literally, that's one of the reasons we're making this. Give us 5 years. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a very good content, meme content coming up.
Great, great. All right. All right, Monica, it was lovely having you on the show. I think so. We are about on time. We could go on and on and on, but you have to take a pause somewhere. So thank you for your insights. I think so. From a conventional B2B and B2C, this is a refreshing change that we have talked about. The B2B2C industry and how AI is actually playing a part in that, and how you're prioritizing whether it is the B or the C part of it that needs to be, given the AI experience. But it was lovely having you on the show. And people who have more questions for Monica and they want to ask something specifically about starting up, anything, so starting up or, making intelligent choices about the kind of marketing model that you want to follow. Monica's LinkedIn would be in the description of this video. You can pick it up, ping her, and get in touch with her. And for people, our lovely audience, please do subscribe. Uh, Hit the bell icon, and the next episode you will get a notification. We would have another interesting guest like Monica talking something about marketing and most importantly, using wisdom over hustling it out. Thank you, Monica. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.